He thought he was just saving a dog, but in fact he just became a target. The truck's engine rumbled softly as Noah read. He drove down the deserted highway, his headlights cutting through the fine night fog. The radio was playing an old country song, but he was barely paying attention. After years on the road, the sounds and sights have become just a backdrop to his loneliness. Noah, a 42-year-old man, was a veteran truck driver. He had seen it all: accidents, storms, good people, bad people, but nothing he had ever witnessed could prepare him for what he was about to encounter. It was around 2 in the morning when he saw it, a still silhouette in the middle of the train tracks. His heart skipped a beat. He slowed the truck, pulled to the side of the road, and got out quickly, his boots squeaking on the asphalt. The wind was cold, but his attention was completely focused on the figure in the dark. A dog, tied to the tracks. His fur was dirty, mixed with dried blood, and his amber eyes reflected a mix of fear and hope. It was a Belgian Malinois, a strong dog, clearly trained, but here he looked vulnerable. Noah looked around, not a soul alive, no explanation. And then, in the silence of the night, the distant sound of a train echoed through the darkness. Noah didn't think. He ran to the tracks, pulling a pocket knife from his pocket. The chain knot was tight, but he had no time for patience. The train was already coming. The wind grew stronger. The train lights began to appear around the bend. "Hang in there, kid," Noah muttered, cutting the chain with force. The metal broke. The dog jumped away at the exact second the train whizzed past them, by a whisker. Noah fell into a sitting position, his heart racing, the dog at his side, breathing heavily. That's when he noticed something unusual. The animal did not run. Instead, he looked directly at Noah, as if expected something, how if knew something. And then suddenly a headlight shone on the road. A black car slowed down when it saw them. The dog started to growl. Noah realized it right away. That wasn't a coincidence. He hadn't just saved a dog, he had just gotten himself into something much bigger. The black car stopped a few meters away. The headlights obscured Noah's vision, but he could see 2 silhouettes inside the vehicle. The dog beside him was growling low, his fur standing on end. He wasn't just scared, he was prepared to fight. Noah slowly stood up, keeping the pocket knife in his hand. The car door opened. A man in a dark suit and leather gloves came out, walking towards them. "Ah, beautiful night, isn't it?" said the stranger, his voice filled with a disconcerting coldness. Noah didn't respond. His instinct screamed that something was wrong. The man looked at the dog and let out a theatrical sigh. "Well, well. Do you think you did a good deed, friend? That dog shouldn't be here." Noah clenched his jaw. "And even because it looks like someone wanted him dead." The man smiled, but his eyes remained cold. "That's none of your business." Noah took a step forward, blocking the dog with his own body. "Now it is." The silence between them was broken by the sound of the train engine in the distance, fading into the darkness. The tension was almost suffocating. The man tilted his head as if analyzing Noah. Then he snapped his fingers. The back car door opened. Another man came out, this time holding a weapon. Noah felt his heart race. This was not a simple dispute over a dog. The dog beside him growled even louder, his fangs glinting in the headlights. He didn't seem to have any intention of backing down. The armed man raised his pistol. "Give the dog away and leave. Last chance." Noah took a deep breath. If he handed over the animal, he would come out alive. But he knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that this would mean the dog's death. He looked at the dog, and surprisingly the animal looked back as if to say, "We're in this together." Noah made his decision. He turned and ran. The dog followed him immediately, agile and fast. Shots echoed across the road. Noah felt the whistle of a bullet passing too close. They jumped into the thicket on the side of the road, running through the darkness without looking back. The only thing Noah knew was that, at that moment, he was no longer a simple truck driver. He had become a target. Noah ran without looking back. The sound of gunfire was behind him, but he knew the men wouldn't give up so easily. The dog, or rather the warrior at your side, moved agile among the shadows of the forest, guiding him as if he already knew the terrain. After a few minutes, they stopped behind an old abandoned warehouse. Noah leaned against the wall, trying to catch his breath. "What the hell is going on, boy? Who wants you dead that bad?" The dog gasped, eyes fixed on him. It was almost as if he understood every word. It was then that Noah realized something. A thick leather collar around the animal's neck with a small built-in metal compartment. He frowned and opened the clasp. Inside, he found a small flash drive. "What is that?" he murmured. Before I could think any further, the sound of footsteps crunching dry leaves echoed through the forest. Noah grabbed the flash drive and bent down, pulling the dog behind. The cover, two voices approached. He couldn't have gone far. "Voss wants it back before dawn." Noah held his breath. Carter Voss. The name sparked something in his memory. He'd already heard about the guy, a corrupt businessman involved in private security, smuggling, and God knows what else. And now, he was in the middle of this story. The dog growled softly. Noah pressed his hand against his neck. "Stay. With me, boy. We get out of this." The footsteps came closer. It was now or never. Noah grabbed a rock and threw it to the opposite side. The impact was enough to distract the men. "There! I heard a noise!" They walked away in the wrong direction. Noah didn't think twice. He came out of hiding and ran to the road, the dog at his side. Now he knew he had something valuable. The only question was, what was on that flash drive that was so worth a dog's life? And most importantly, who else was willing to kill for him? Noah drove fast, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. The dog, or rather your unlikely partner, was in the passenger seat, panting but alert. He didn't know exactly where he was going, but he knew where to go, who to call. Travis Holloway, former police officer, an old friend who now worked in independent research. If anyone could find out what was on the flash drive, it was him. He took out his cell phone and dialed. "Holloway, it's me. I need a favor. Big." The voice on the other end sounded surprised. "Noah? I haven't seen you in months. What there was?" Noah looked at the dog and sighed. "Let's just say I got into trouble." Holloway was silent for a moment before responding. "Meet me at my workshop in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, Noah's truck stopped in front of an old junkyard on the outskirts of town. It was the kind of place where secrets were buried. Holloway was leaning against one of the junked cars, his arms crossed. "Right. What are you catching?" Noah went downstairs and showed the flash drive. This dog was chained to the train tracks. Someone wanted to make sure he didn't get out of there alive. And I think this thing has something to do with it. Holloway took the device and frowned. "And do you think it's worth opening this?" Noah snorted. This dog's life was worth it. So yes, it's worth it. The dog barked once, as if in agreement. Holloway sighed and led them inside the warehouse. He connected the flash drive to the laptop. Encrypted files. This is not an amateur thing. He typed in a few commands, and after a few seconds, a video file appeared on the screen. They watched in silence. It was footage from inside a warehouse. Armed men, boxes with false labels, illegal documents. At the center of it all, Carter Voss. Holloway whistled softly. "This is pure dynamite." Noah looked at the dog, and he was carrying it the whole time. Now he understood. The dog was more than an animal. He was the last piece of a deadly puzzle, and Carter Voss wanted to erase this play at any cost. Noah took a deep breath. The question now was, what to do with this information, and most importantly, how long did they have before Voss found them? The silence in the junkyard was heavy. The video on the laptop was still playing, revealing the extent of Carter Voss's crimes. Noah felt a chill run down his spine. They had a bomb in their hands. Holloway tapped his fingers on the table. This right here could land Voss behind. Bars. But if he knows we have this, he will go to great lengths to silence us. Noah looked at the dog, who was now sitting up, alert, as if I knew the worst was yet to come. He already knows, Noah muttered. How to confirm your suspicions? The sound of screeching tires on the road cut through the night. Holloway looked out the window and swore. Drug. They arrived faster than I expected. 2 black SUVs skidded into the junkyard entrance. Men in black came down, armed. Noah recognized one of them, the guy who tried to take the dog from the road. And then the last door opened. Carter Voss left. Tall, cold, meticulous. A man who never had to get his hands dirty because he always had someone to do it for him. But now he was there. Senior Reed. He smiled. A smile that didn't match the situation. I'd like to talk. Noah narrowed his eyes. Funny. Normally when someone wants to talk, they don't bring an armed army. Voss laughed softly. Let's get straight to the point then. You have something that belongs to me, and I want it back. Noah crossed his arms. Oh, are you talking about the pen drive? I talk about the dog. The silence grew even heavier. Voss stepped forward, his eyes as cold as glass. This animal should have been dead for weeks. He carried information that could destroy my operation. But you see, he was smart, ran away, and now it's here with you. The dog next to Noah growled. This time, it wasn't fear. It was a challenge. Noah knew there was no way to negotiate. Voss, I wouldn't let anyone get out of there alive. Holloway whispered, Flat? Noah snapped his fingers. The dog shot forward, and all hell broke loose. The animal hit one of the henchmen directly in the leg, knocking him down. Noah pulled Holloway behind a junked car as gunshots rang out. The junkyard became a battlefield. Noah took the key to an old rusty truck. Charge me! Holloway opened fire on Voss's men while Noah started the engine. The roar of the truck filled the space. Voss looked at Noah, realizing too late what he was going to do. Noah rammed the truck straight into Voss's SUV. The impact was brutal. Voss's vehicle spun and crashed into a pile of scrap metal. The iron exploded into sparks. Voss staggered out of the smoke, his forehead bleeding. But he was still standing. He pulled out a gun and pointed it at Noah. Before he could shoot, the dog jumped on him. The sound of the impact was dry. Voss fell to the ground, the animal on his chest, teeth bared. Noah approached slowly. You were there, defenseless for the first time in his life. Noah looked at the dog. Your choice, partner. The dog's amber eyes glowed in the darkness. He growled once more and then retreated. Voss stood there, breathing hard, defeated. Noah bent down, picked up the gun from the floor and said, It's the end of the line, Voss. And this time, power was no longer in the wrong hands. Police sirens echoed through the junkyard. Noah watched as Carter Voss was handcuffed and thrown into the back seat of a police car. His face, once implacable, was now that of a defeated man. Holloway Asobiu. I never thought I'd live to see this bastard fall. Noah crossed his arms. It was just a matter of time. Voss's henchmen were also taken, and the flash drive with the evidence, now it was in the right hands. With that material, Voss's criminal organization would be dismantled. But Noah knew that that wasn't the only victory of the night. He looked at the dog, his faithful companion sitting next to him, tongue lolling out, looking almost satisfied. The police chief approached. Nice work, Reed. That dog saved your ass today. Noah smiled. I think we saved each other. The officer looked at the dog and then at Noah. And now, what are you going to do with him? Noah bent down and put his hand on the dog's neck. He wasn't just a survivor. He was a warrior, a friend. I think he's already chosen where he wants to stay. The dog licked his hand in response. They were in this together. Noah looked at Holloway and gave a slight smile. Now, I just need a name for him. Holloway shrugged. After what he did today, I would call it Wolf. Noah looked at the dog. What do you think, partner? Does Wolf suit you? The dog barked once, as if in agreement. Noah laughed. It was official. He was no longer just a lonely truck driver. Now he had a road companion and a new story to tell. 6 months later. The sun was beginning to set over the horizon when Noah parked his truck at a small gas station on the side of the road. The same old radio played. Country music, but this time, loneliness was no longer part of the trip. Wolf, now strong, healthy, and wearing a new collar, jumped out of the passenger seat before Noah even opened the door. Calm down, partner. I haven't even arrived yet. The dog barked excitedly and ran towards a boy playing near the convenience store. The boy laughed, stroking the animal's head without fear. Noah watched the scene with a smile. Before, Lobo was just a disposable piece in a criminal network. Now, he was free. He entered the store, grabbed a coffee, and saw the day's headline. On the news, Carter Voss sentenced to 25 years in prison. Illegal operation completely dismantled. Noah took a sip of his coffee and smiled. It seems like justice works every now and then. When he got out, he found Lobo lying in the shade of the truck, watching the horizon as if he was ready for the next adventure. Noah opened the vehicle door and knocked on the passenger seat. Come on, partner. We still have a long way to go. Wolf jumped in without hesitation. With one last glance at the station, Noah started the engine and accelerated. This time he was not alone, and the road has never seemed so full of possibilities. End.